Hey, what's up, guys? If you're like me and living in a space that's not exactly a botanical garden, but you still want to add some green to your home, well, I got you covered. Today, we're looking at 10 of the smallest houseplants that'll fit pretty much anywhere your desk, a tiny shelf, even that weird empty corner you don't know what to do with. These little guys don't just look cool, they're low maintenance and perfect for adding some life to your space without turning your place into a jungle. So, whether you're working with a small studio, a dorm, or just want to add some greenery without sacrificing space, let's check out the top 10 smallest houseplants for tiny spaces. Alright, first up, we've got the Haworthia Cymbiformis tiny succulent that's basically impossible to mess up. This little guy stays small, usually around 3 to 5 inches, so it's perfect for squeezing into tiny spaces. Plus, look at these leaves. They're kinda chubby, kinda translucent, almost like little green jelly beans. Super cool. The best part? It thrives on neglect. Just give it some indirect light and water it maybe once every 2 weeks seriously. Overwatering is the only way to kill it. Stick it on your desk, a shelf, even in a little terrarium, and it'll just keep doing its thing. And if you want more of them, they grow little pups, so you can just pop them into new pots and boom, free plants. Low effort, looks awesome, and doesn't take up space? Definitely a winner. Alright, let's check out the next one. Next up, we've got the Pachyphytum Oviferum, also known as the moonstone succulent ant. Yeah, it totally looks like little pastel-colored pebbles. This one stays super compact, usually around 3 to 4 inches. So it's perfect for tight spaces. The leaves are thick and kinda powdery, almost like they've been dusted with chalk. Pretty cool, right? Now, just like most succulents, it hates too much water, so let the soil dry out completely before giving it a drink. Seriously, if you're someone who forgets to water plants, this is the one for you. It loves bright, indirect light, so stick it near a window and it'll stay happy. And if you ever bump the leaves off, no worries. You can actually propagate them by just laying them on soil, and they'll start growing new plants. Easy, small, and looks amazing. Definitely a solid pick. Alright, next up, we've got Tillandsia Ionantha, also known as an air plant ant. Yeah, that means no soil needed. This little guy is perfect if you're short on space, because you can literally stick it anywhere on a shelf, in a glass terrarium, or even hang it up. It stays super small, usually around 2 to 4 inches. And the best part? It's crazy easy to care for. Just mist it a couple of times a week, or give it a quick soak in water every now and then, and it's good to go. It loves bright, indirect light. And if you take care of it, it'll even turn a cool reddish color before blooming. Plus, it looks like a tiny spiky explosion of greenery. Definitely a cool way to add some life to your space. No dirt, no mess, and barely any maintenance? Sounds like a win to me. Alright, coming in at number 4, we've got Fittonia Albivenis, also called the nerve plant ant. Just look at those crazy veins on the leaves. This little plant stays super compact, usually around 3 to 6 inches, making it perfect for desks, bookshelves, or even tiny terrariums. Unlike succulents though, this one loves humidity. So if you tend to forget to water your plants, it might get a little dramatic and wilt, but don't freak out. Just give it some water, and it springs right back to life like nothing happened. It does best in indirect light, so no need to put it in direct sun, and it actually thrives indoors. The best part? It comes in different colors: green, pink, red, white, so you can add some cool variety to your space. Low light, easy to revive, and tiny enough for any corner? Yeah, this one's a solid pick. Alright, next up, we've got the Opuntia Cactus, also known as the bunny ear cactus ant. Yeah, it kind of looks like little green rabbit ears. This one stays pretty small, usually around 4 to 6 inches, making it perfect for tiny spaces. Plus, it's a cactus, so you already know it's super low maintenance. Just give it plenty of bright, indirect light and water it once every few weeks. Seriously, if you're the type to forget about your plants, this one will still survive. Just be careful, those little spines look soft, but they're actually tiny, and can stick to your fingers if you touch them the wrong way. Stick it in a small pot, throw in some well-draining soil, and you're set. It's cute, it's tough, and it barely needs attention. Definitely a great option for a tiny space. Alright, coming in at number 6, we've got the Venus Flytrap, one of the coolest small plants you can have. This little guy stays under 5 inches, so it won't take up much space. But let's be real, the best part is watching it snap shut on bugs. It actually eats insects, which makes it kind of like a tiny natural pest control system. But here's the thing, it's not like a regular houseplant. It needs distilled water only, no tap water, and it loves bright, direct sunlight to stay healthy. And don't go poking at its traps, for each one can only close so many times before it stops working. Keep it in a humid spot, maybe near a window, and feed it a bug every now and then if it's not catching any on its own. If you want a plant that's tiny, weird, and actually does something, this one's a must-have. Alright, next up, we've got Echeveria, one of the most popular little succulents out there, and for good reason. This plant stays super compact, usually around 3 to 6 inches, and has that perfect rosette shape that looks almost like a tiny green flower. It's crazy low maintenance. Just give it bright, indirect light and water it once every couple of weeks, making sure the soil dries out completely in between. Overwatering is the fastest way to kill it, so if you tend to forget about your plants, this one's perfect. Plus, it comes in all kinds of colors, from green to blue to purple, so you can mix and match to make a cool little setup. And if you ever want more, it grows baby plants, called offsets, that you can pop off and plant separately. Small, stylish, and super easy to care for. Yeah, this one's a no-brainer. Alright, coming in at number 8, we've got the African Violetta tiny plant with big personality. This one stays around 4 to 6 inches and has these soft, fuzzy leaves that make it stand out. But the real star? Those bright purple, pink, or white flowers that bloom year-round if you take care of it right. It loves indirect light and slightly moist soil. But here's the trick, water it from the bottom, not the top, because getting water on the leaves can leave ugly spots. It also does best in a warm, humid spot, so if your place gets dry, a small tray with water and pebbles underneath can help. It's small, beautiful, and blooms way more than most houseplants, making it perfect if you want something colorful without taking up space. Alright, plant number 9 is the Crassula Buddha's Temple, and this one looks insanely cool-like, a tiny green pagoda made of stacked leaves. It stays around 4 to 6 inches tall, making it perfect for small spaces, and it's a succulent, so it's super low maintenance. Just give it bright, indirect light and water it sparingly, letting the soil dry out completely between waterings. Overwatering is the biggest killer, so if you're not sure, wait a few more days. It grows in a really symmetrical, compact shape, which makes it stand out even among other succulents. Plus, over time, it can even produce tiny red flowers when it's happy. If you want something that's unique, easy to care for, and looks like a mini sculpture, this one's a solid pick. Alright, last but definitely not least, we've got the Pilea Peperomioides, also known as the Chinese money plantain. Just look at those round, coin-shaped leaves. This one stays small and compact, usually around 6 inches tall, making it perfect for tiny spaces. It's super easy to grow. Just give it bright, indirect light and water it once a week, letting the soil dry out between waterings. The coolest part? It grows little baby plants around the base, so you can propagate them and share with friends. If the leaves start drooping, don't panic. It usually just means it's thirsty. And if you rotate it every few days, it keeps that nice balanced shape. It's stylish, easy to care for, and even gives you free plants. Definitely a great way to wrap up our list. Alright, that's a wrap on the 10 smallest houseplants for tiny spaces. Whether you want something low maintenance, unique, or just plain cool, there's a perfect little plant for you. Let me know which one's your favorite in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more plant tips. See you in the next one.